Welcome to Around the Kinky Campfire podcast. This is your host, the Cuddle Gigolo, aka El Comidon, aka Mango Boogies, but also known officially as H.H. Julius, your entertainment creative. I'm here with Miss Rue, our education guru, and our goal in this podcast is to destigmatize the taboo topics of kink, non-monogamy, and BDSM. We like to educate through awareness and with our experiences, and we are not certified professionals as of yet. So our non-judgmental topics, with a dash of facts, are to be taken mostly as entertainment and with, some slice of life anecdotal stories. Your opinions, lifestyles, and or way of thinking may not be in alignment with ours, but your opinion, lifestyle, way of thinking is also okay as well. And the fact that you have an opinion is valid. We're not here to change your minds. We are here just to provide a different point of view. Please join us every second and fourth Thursdays of every month, and our episodes are uploaded to all major platforms: Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, etc., etc. Please look forward to this coming episode, as we will start shortly, and make sure to especially pay attention to our ASR Minute, which will start very soon. Once again, people, that is a new intro there. Just hello. This is what I do. But this is your current leader, I don't even know, host for the Pillow Fort Sessions. Once again, we are back with the Pillow Fort Sessions. I know it has been a while. The regular podcasts have been going on steadily, and now we have the Pillow Fort Sessions again. I know you have missed it. I am doing a little intro, easy thing, topic that you all love so much. I know you do, because I see the numbers from the downloads. So once again, we have another episode of the Pillow Forts, and I'm warming back up because I'm going to start getting into heavier topics. This is my monologue space. This is my soapbox to stand on, give my opinion on things. Could be some factual, not as entertaining as I usually am on the regular episode, but this is more Julius, but I also go by El Comidon, the Cuddle Gigolo, General Colonel McBee. All those names, Tadaka, Goddess, Petho. That's another good one that I've forgotten. That is also very, very popular. But so we're wandering around the spectrum here and towing the line a little bit between what is real and what is not, what is educational and what is entertainment. So, I'm just gonna monologue a little bit here more on these topics. As I said before, there haven't been too many Pillow Fort sessions. I've been doing it myself. Hopefully my co-host will join me at some point. I'll still keep calling her out, or just her as it is right now. As you can see from, the new, I should say season, I guess, the podcast members change, so it's ever flowing. This is mainly a creative outlet for us to get the word out there. I like being more entertaining during the podcast, so now I get to be more serious and talk about what I'd like to talk about, which I will get into after. As you know, it is time to figure out what I'm drinking. Right now, it is still morning-ish. So I'm finishing up my third cup of coffee. I've gone through my classic, I've gone through my French, and now, guess what? Almost choked there. That is the ASMR 5 seconds with my decaf. Yes, I know it is decaf. I just wanted to surprise you with the ASMR 5 seconds before I said what it was, and all of y'all turned your noses. Yes, I drink decaf coffee. I enjoy the taste of coffee, all its different forms. If I could be a sommelier of the coffee brands, I would.
way more gallons of coffee intook than wine has ever been. So yeah, there are coffee sommeliers out there, and I would love to be one of them. I like to try all the coffee. Just poke me in the arm and tap me straight through into the vein because I live off of coffee. It is delicious. So yes, decaf. Good. Okay, so let's get into the topic. This is Geeking Out Part Tray. Yes, it has been a while, and you know the new season has started. It is officially the winter season of podcast. Well, fall season of the animes. We still not into winter yet. It feels like we're about to be, as it is November, end of October, November-ish time now. So yeah, we're almost there, but we're full into the fall season. It seems that anime seasons skew a little bit differently in the month. When the seasonal month starts, it's like halfway or like 3/4 away or pretty much 7/8 of the way done with the month before the new season start. They take a little break, which is a little bit strange to me because it's so late. But yeah, we bleed over into the technical, if you want to be technical, season there. But right now it is the fall season of the anime season. And we're also going to talk about other comic booky stuff, a little bit of sci-fi sometimes. But yeah, mostly anime because that's what y'all like. So that's what I'm going to talk about with the icing of the comic booky stuff going on. And to start us off, I'm very excited to say, and I've mentioned this show before, that Season 2 of Eminence in Shadow has begun. Most of these, I will say, are on Crunchyroll, but some of them you have to go to other sites. I will not say where they are, but you can Google them. There's just, anime sites where it is not on the main stuff, but I found a great site that I love, and I'm catching up on the old anime that I never knew about, aka Cowboy Bebop, the animated movie. I didn't know that there was a version out there of it available and subtitled, I guess I should say. I've seen clips on YouTube, but nothing that was whole. And yeah, I found a site. It was great. It's all the different things and had the movies out there, and even newer ones like Weathering with You was already on that site, subtitled. So I think dubbed as well, dubbed. I think, yeah, either way, it was at least subtitled. Might have been dubbed already. It's an amazing site. I'll just say that right now. I wish I could just promote it, but it's, yeah, you make sure you got your ad blockers put on. Let's just say that, VPN and all that. Anyways, Eminence in Shadow does not come on Crunchyroll, so I was very scared that I would not be able to see it. I found my site. Loving the new season. Went straight into the story. The main character is doing some crazy stuff, a.k.a. John Smith. If anybody's been watching it, you know what I'm talking about. Quick synopsis of the show. Isekai, of course. Basically, the main character is a high schooler, and somehow he's already mastered a bunch of different martial arts, becomes a vigilante, takes out a really tough guy. I don't even know where power ranking wise it works out, but he just took out this military dude out pretty quickly in the first episode. We have another side character, which we never see again. Hopefully she pops up at some point, because I rewatched the first season before I started the second season. And he wanted to leave the world because, hey, I can't stop a nuke no matter how strong I am, but guess what can? Magic. So he's like, I'm going to be reborn. That isn't really clear in the beginning because it doesn't really make it a point say, hey, I knew this was going to happen, or like whether he knew for sure it was going to happen, but basically he just kills himself. Truck-kun takes another one. Add that to the tally. Truck-kun versus Rail-kun versus Boat-kun, Car-kun. Yeah. That's a deep cut if anybody knows, because, yeah, there's a tally going on. And I just seeing an ad right now for something else I wanted to talk about as well. So let me add that to the list right at the end, because I'm very excited about that. Very good. Oh boy, yeah. There's a couple things. Okay, so Eminence in Shadow, he gets reborn. Basically, just becomes a powerhouse of magic. So shocking. And then let's see, we have season 2 of Goblin Slayer. There's nothing much else I could talk about. Eminence in Shadow is just your basic overkill, but he thinks he's an actor in the thing, basically. Yeah, it's just that little trope in there that gets me going. If you watch it, then you know, but yeah, it's OP Isekai stuff. Very good. Goblin Slayer Season 2 starts right off from the first season, right back into it. Goblin Slayer pretty much just how it is. The main character is a Goblin Slayer. That's his name. You don't even really, you might have said his real name one point, but he goes by Goblin Slayer by everybody in the show because that's what he does. He slays goblins literally. He doesn't even know like the normal monsters that are in the world. He's like, what's a dragon? He's never even like doesn't know what a dragon is. Only knows stuff that shows up with goblins like orcs and hobgoblins. So I forgot I think he's like a unicorn or something in the last episode. He's like, what is that? Everybody's just looking at him. So he kills goblins. And if there's a show where a magical beast, or whatever you want to call it, should be killed, it is 100% a goblin in the Goblin Slayer. It's pretty messed up what is going on in this this world, because it's kind of those goblins are evil. Let's just say that they should be killed and maimed and murdered because they laugh at you while they're torturing you. Let's just say that. And it's pretty graphic. Parental advisory is on there. That's not very common on Crunchyroll, but it is on Crunchyroll, season 2. Very happy with it. Very good. So continue watching that if you are. And it's good to see Goblin Slayer being sociable because he was doing it by himself, but now he's got a little team on there and they continue to grow. So that's good. Just kill goblins. That's it. Erase them all from the earth. I'm 100% backing it. I'm not being objective whatsoever. This is very subjective. They need to die in this show specifically. All right. So season 2, moving on, of Shield Hero. Season 3. Season 2. Season 3. Season 3. Season 3 of Shield Hero. We've gotten past the great catastrophe that happened, so we're moving on to the next catastrophe. He has to go get the rest of the heroes, which are a bunch of assholes, and corral them to try to get them to help this time because he pretty much did it all by himself. Well, I should say without their help. There was other heroes there. And we learned that multiverses are in here now. They are fully in. Multiverses are a thing in Shield Hero. Yay, the multiverse. Clap, clap, multiverse. The main trope that is going on, even in the Western, like, it's interesting when a trope happens in Eastern cinema. Sure. I mean, anime is cinema there in Japan. So, leads over to the West, multiverses are a thing. Everybody can complain about multiverses. I will say that is, as a believer in the multiverse, even in the real world, I do believe in multiverses. There's no actual proof or anything. I just think there's got to be a possibility. If I flip a quarter and it lands on heads this way, I believe there's another universe where it landed on tails. Different things happen, yada, yada. I'm a woman in somewhere other world. I feel it in my bones. But yeah, multiverses are a thing. I feel like I should do an episode just on multiverses because people think that it's like a trope, especially with comic books being a thing now and it's bleeding over into everything else. It's like, oh, it's a creative thing, or comic book movies, I should say. But this has been a thing in comic books all the time. You get a new writer, a new artist in a comic book, they want to do their own version of it. So let them do a different version. I'm 100% in that. Just because, Superman started out this way, I don't want Superman. Maybe I want him to be black. Maybe I want him to be Russian, There you go, multiverse. Boom. That's how you, I forgot the word. You explain it out. So there you go. That wasn't the word. I can't think of it. Moving on. You explain it out that way. It's a multiverse, so I'm totally fine with that. Putting it all into different things. You got all these different time traveling things, and what was the other thing? I guess people dying. That's another version. Isekai, reincarnation, another multiverse. There's a time travel, teleporting, space. Space. I just saw the Planet of the Apes trailer that just came out. So that's, it's time travel as a multiverse, a planet, different Earth. So it's been a thing for a while. People are getting all mad about it, but yeah, it's been a thing. They've explained away a bunch of stuff. But yeah, Shield Hero. If you like multiverses, you like different heroes doing things, and you like, hopefully, assholes getting their just due, just like with Goblin Slayer. That's good. Multiverses in there, so I have no problem with it. I know people are probably going to complain about it, but that's just how it is. The multiverse has been around. Okay, and then Tokyo Revengers Season 3. I just finished Season 2 because it was not on Crunchyroll. This is one of the annoying things because Crunchyroll will have one season of something and then it won't have another one, either the first or the second or whatever. But thanks to my site, I found Season 2. Just finished that one up. So good. Speaking of time traveling. And Season 3 just kind of picked right up where the Season 2 just left off. Unfortunately, Season 2 was not as long as the first season, but still had a good plot. Well, the plot is always good, but it's like story, amount of episodes was fine. Very good with these shorter seasons. I wish people everybody would do this because we don't need fillers. Oh, God. Even any show, Netflix, Disney Plus, they have fillers in there. And it's like, I'm good with 8 episodes. Just give me the straight stuff. I don't need 13, 20-some episodes if there's a bunch of fillers in there. Because then that's technically not part of the season. I don't count it as a season. So, yeah, I'm totally fine with 8 episodes. People complain about that as well. If it's 6 episodes, but it's just all story for an hour and something, I'm totally fine with that. Even if there's like a 30-minute one. As long as it's just story. I hate fillers at this point in life. I'm turning into an old man. I hate fillers now. But, that's a pretty good one, Tokyo Revengers, if you like time travel. I didn't really explain Shield Hero, but this isekai as well. Guy gets reincarnated and becomes one of the 4 main heroes and trying to save the world. Yada, yada, yada. Slaves in there, and he's got to save them because he's a nice guy. Tokyo Revengers, guy, ex-girlfriend dies. So he finds a way somehow to go back into the past, exactly 12 years. So he jumps back from 12 years in the past, 12 years in the future. Interesting thing is it's definitely one of those Back to the Future type deals where there's only one past, which as a believer in multiverses, that's not a thing. But somehow they don't explain how he has this ability. If he shakes this specific person's hand, he goes back in the past and shakes their hand again, he goes back in the future, exactly 12 years. One thing to find out is, it's not really a spoiler, but kind of sort of time flows the same way. So if he stays 2 weeks in the past, he comes back 2 weeks further in the future, but it's exactly 12 years. Weird. But I like it. Main character is a big crybaby trying to save people, and of course it doesn't always work out like you want to. Got a lot of these to go through, and I'm not even a full list right here. There's a bunch that are on my radar that I just have not gotten to because there's so much going on. Plus, I found my site, so I could go back and watch old episodes of stuff that I did not see in movies of it. Saint Seiya, for example. Stuff that came out in the 80s that I didn't know there were movies for, and now I get to watch them. So, yeah, there's a bunch of new stuff that was on my radar I just have not gotten to see yet. So, this is just a list of stuff I've seen, and especially if there's like a season 2 or 3 of it, I'm definitely going to keep watching. And speaking of which, one show that came out, I believe it was in spring, and now there's a season 2 or part 2 of it, is Death Play. Another isekai, but this time the main character was a death god. In the last season, Necromancer, and he manages to find a way to be reincarnated into a different world, maybe the future of his world, kind of, sort of. We see him bleeding over, so multiverses again. Clap, clap. This season, this part, season, or whatever it is, just as confusing as the last one. A lot of stuff going on, a lot of different names are thrown out, and if you know anything, El Comedon doesn't remember names. So, yeah, there's just a bunch of different names. I still have no idea what's going on in this show. He came back to this world and he's, people are dying. Yeah. So, I don't even know what to say about this. If you like that confusion, then watch that. Be sure. And then, show that I really liked that had a OVA. Let's call it OVA. If you guys don't know what OVAs are, they're like side stories that add to the main story but don't really have to be in continuity. Sure, that's a thing they do in anime that hasn't really come over to the West. OVAs are hard to explain because they're sometimes movies and sometimes miniseries that have to deal with the story but don't. The OVA itself seems to reference past stuff that happened in the actual show, but then if another season comes out after the OVA, it doesn't really reference the OVA stuff. Not necessarily. It's really hard to explain. But anyways, reincarnated as a slime, visions of Cloius. We have our main character, once again, in isekai. He gets reborn as a slime. He wanted a a creature that didn't take much damage because he was afraid of getting hurt. And he ends up being a slime, which is overpowered because he can just absorb people and take their powers and literally just suck them in. And he just comes in and befriends a dragon right off the bat, which is one of like the devastations of the world that he got reborn to. He ends up befriending monsters and then starting up a whole village and then trying to make them friendly with humans. Of course, there's magic in this world. Now he's just OP. Currently, he's a death god, demon lord. But this story takes place a little bit before that, so it's already confusing for people. But he basically gets put on a secret mission to go check out this other kingdom, and then stuff ensues. And he's there. So if you like watching that and getting a little bit more confusing, go ahead and watch the Visions of Cloyus OVA for Reincarnated as a Slime. Can't wait for the next season to come out because that show is amazing. There's a lot of isekais here. This is the season for it, but it's been that way for a couple seasons now. So that's just how it is in anime. We get stuff, and I want to be like sick of isekai, but then a new one comes out and it's like, this is good too. Ridiculous. Yeah. Next one is part 2, season 3 of Dr. Stone. Not an isekai, shockingly. The world has been turned to stone in this post-apocalyptic, and we got the main character is a really smart science guy that was turned to stone, and then magically he's one of the few people that got unturned to stone. Of course he would, and then he has all the science knowledge of the previous life because he was a big old nerd, and he's just trying to bring society back into the current age that was left before and figure out who turned everybody to stone. But I like it because they explain all the science, they give little breakdowns of what's going on, notes and then diagrams and all that. So I really like it because of that. Of course, it has to be super anime, like a sulfur lady. Everybody knows is poison, but it's a lady that's like trying to kill everybody. I don't know. Anyways, if you like super sciencey stuff, post-apocalyptic, then there you go. Dr. Stone, pretty amazing show. And then we have season 2, technically part 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen. Very popular with everybody. Everybody in the anime world knows of Jujutsu Kaisen. You got sorcerers trying to kill spirits. There you go. And there's a school for it. Pretty much the simple breakdown. If you want to know more, please check it out. It's a very action-heavy shonen type show. Not an isekai, shockingly. But it is on the next season now. It jumped up a little bit with this new season. I don't know where in the time. I guess it's just later because all the main characters are like better or stronger now. So it's just kind of weird because they give you a timeline of when each like new story starts because they're cases, because they're students that go on actual cases, and did not pay attention to what the numbers were on those. So sometime a little bit in the future where this new part takes place. So it was it's pretty good. So it's a pretty good season so far. Of course, the show is amazing and everything about it. All the characters are pretty good. Right now, the latest episode, our heroes are in a dire straits here a little bit. There's a little bit too many people dying on the good guy side, so it's not looking good. But we'll see how this turns out here. So I don't think it's going to go anywhere anytime soon. It's so popular. So there's no way this would end. The show would end anytime soon. I just don't see that happening. And then, coming up next, we have a remake. Rurouni Kenshin, or Samurai X, as some people knew it back in the day. The remake is out and has been going strong, and I like it. I was very bored with the original Samurai X Rurouni Kenshin, even though the live action came out and they did all the different parts that's on Netflix. From the last thing I see, I'm pretty sure you can find it other places. But yeah, every version of it has made me I just fell asleep. It's just so slow. But I like this remake here. It's a little bit faster. It's still kind of slow, but yeah, it's more bearable in this version. So yeah, liking it so far. Rurouni Kenshin. Not really going to explain that one. It's just a samurai that was a super killer before, and now he's not. That's pretty much it. If you want to watch it, it's very good at doing that story because he's like made an oath to not kill anymore after he's killed hundreds of people, and it's very historically accurate as far as I can tell. Don't know much about the history of Japan, but This takes place in the Edo era. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's when it was. But explains a little bit of the history of the time, which is pretty cool because I'm a nerd, so I like that. And then I just want to go back in time a little bit and talk about Reign of the Seven Spellblades. That came out last season, but it ended during this season, so I'm just going to talk about it because instead of having the regular 12 or 13 episodes, this one had 16. The ending was lackluster. I'll just say that. I talked about it in a previous Geeking Out part 2, but it's very good concept. I'm ready for more. It kind of ended on like a little side tangent. I don't even know if it was like a filler or whatever because that was the season ender, which was weird. But I hope they get back into the main story so that it is better. But the show is amazing. The whole main plot is amazing. But this little side tangent thing they did at the end is like you could have just stopped at 13. You didn't have to put that part in there. I don't know how it plays into the main story, but yeah, you could have just ended at 13 episodes. Once again, just give me good 6-8 episodes with no fluff. I'm totally happy with that. I know a lot of people hate it because you have the longer shows like Naruto and like Bleach and everything and went to like 100-something episodes. Saint Seiya, speaking of Sailor Moon, all those shows that went to 100-something episodes in their first season. And then we have now, like most shows are like 13 episodes. It's like, I'm totally fine with that because, yeah, this didn't need to be there at the end. This is my little asterisk, little backstory tangent on that. But, yeah, the show is amazing. I can't wait for season 2 to come out, but that ending needed work for real. Okay, so moving on to this season again, we have season 2. A lot of season 2s this year. I'm a happy little boy because all these shows came back that I like so much. And another one is Faraway Paladin. Once again, Isekai. Hey, but it is a good one. I was going to say the same thing, like, oh God, another Isekai, but then this one was good too. So the main character comes back and then immediately is thrown in with a zombie, a skeleton, and a ghost, and it's like, okay. But then they all end up being nice and very nurturing to him. From what I can tell, better parental figures than what he had previously. Basically, they teach him how to fight. They teach him how to use magic. Of course, there's magic. And then the other one teaches him how to like be religious. Because in this world, you got to pray to the gods, and they give you powers and stuff like that. So you got to know, because when you become of a mature age, you have to pick a god you want to worship, and that's what he did. But of course, he's super OP because, of course, all the 3 dead people were OP in their life, and they taught him all the OP stuff. So he's a really good fighter, really good at magic, and he's super duper religious. That's why he's a paladin, because you can mix all those together, and it makes sense. So now he's going into another land where he has to go fight a dragon, of course, because this is fantasy, so he has to go fight a dragon and save the people. So we're building up to the big old dragon fight, which he can't do now. Even the gods he prays for probably shouldn't do that. And then you have the undead god is like, probably shouldn't do that, but of course he's going to do that because that's what he does, and he's got people to back him up. But I like it. It's a very well done. The backup supporting characters are pretty good as well. So another isekai, if you like that, another fantasy isekai, magic, yada yada yada. The religious part is okay, I guess. I like the fact that gods are actually there, so that's pretty good. Faraway Paladin, not as intense as the other shows, but yeah, still pretty good. And then we have a new show that started this season. I put it on here especially because it is very good right off the bat. It is called Berserk of Gluttony, which is amazing. We got some more backstory here in this latest episode, so I was like, ooh, I like it even more. Basically, not an isekai, hey, but it is in the world of magic, of course, and the main character has an okay skill. Basically, if you have good skills, you're higher up in the caste system. It's very obvious that there's a caste system, yada, yada, yada. And you have weak skills, you're in the bottom. You suck, all that different things. And if you're like higher, you get to be a holy knight, yada, yada, yada. So, of course, our main character has a sucky skill when we learn. But in the first episode, we learn that his skill is actually OP and is a cheater skill. So he has to keep it hidden because he thought it sucked, but now it doesn't. And he has to go around saving people under the mask disguise, as of course is a black cloak and a black cloak and a mask. Oh, Oh, I forgot about my coffin. It got cold. Ugh. Anyways, okay. So, yeah. So he has to go around saving people, and you can't tell them who he is, but he's gotten stronger as himself and kind of just doesn't let people know about that. So, yeah, sure. Put a mask on. Nobody knows who you are, apparently, even though you're wearing the same clothes. So, yeah, that's how that went. Yeah, pretty good so far. It's only a few episodes, so I can't really say anything about how it's going to turn out, but he is doing OP stuff now because of the skill, and of course he gets a magic sword that can talk to him, and it does OP stuff too, just changing into other weapons. Of course, yeah, that's how it goes, but not in isekai, so there you go, you have that, but it is fantasy and magic and yada, yada, yada. People dying, getting cut in half. Okay, so, like I said, not a full list, but there are other shows that are on my radar. One Under Ninja, Kingdom of Ruin, Daughter Return as S-Ranked Adventurer, which seems pretty good. And then all the different video game isekai that have come out, like VMRO. Let me get through the walkthrough first before there's a bunch of those that came out this season. So we're on the video game isekai now. We left the fantasy isekai reincarnation. Now we're on video game isekai. So at some point I'll check those all out. But yeah, there's a lot of them out there. So I'm going to get to all those eventually. So there's that. And then leaving the world of anime, we go to live action. Not necessarily comic booky, not all of them anyway, but there was a live action remake, American version of Knights of the Zodiac. So speaking of Saint Seiya, there was a live action version that came out on Netflix. Absolute garbage. It is very much Power Ranger-y, so if you've been keeping up with the new season of Power Rangers, because those are on Netflix too for some reason, it's kind of like that. I would just hit a pass on there. I'm going to finish it because I started it, but you don't have to. Yeah, let's just keep it at that. They changed the story a little bit, and then they focused on Seiya, but the other knights are not there as far as I can tell. Saori is Sedenia and Senena, and she's a blonde girl, so it's like, I missed the purple hair, and she obviously should have been Asian, but whatever. Pass on that. Still have not watched One Piece the live action because I'm waiting for the second season to be officially announced and started filming and all that. I will not be played again, Netflix, with your Cowboy Bebop blunder. Will not happen. So I'm just going to wait for all these shows to be finished before I start watching them. Never again. And then I guess this is kind of animating me, but it is on Netflix. Was Baki, the final season out of all the iterations of Baki that Baki the Grappler started in the 80s and it finally came to an end. Kind of sad about it because it's been going on for so long, and then they put it on Netflix and now it's over. They finally put an end to it. I don't think it's going to be because he finally fought his dad, but that could have went better. I don't know. It's kind of like meh. I feel like that was not a good ending. We could do more. And then there's so many side stories you could do. Like they had a couple fillers in there with the karate guy. But it would have been good to like follow up on those guys and see how they came to be. Because there's so many characters in it. That was very, very interesting. But we just never got an end cap with them. So it was kind of lackluster ending for something that's been going on for like 30, 40 decades. 30, 40 decades. 3 or 4 decades. There you go. Very sad. And then I'm happy to say that there are a couple Godzilla projects in the works. I am also a kaiju fan. So we have a TV show and a movie. We have a Japanese movie and an American TV show looking good. Also seeing trailers for the next American movie, which will be featuring King Kong again. I don't want any spoilers for that. I don't want to see any trailers because I'm wishing that they do a good bad guy. Still voting for my guy Gigan to come in. So hopefully that happens. And Megalodon also would be amazing. We got to get more space kaiju coming in. That's a little bit more scary than the Under Earth or whatever it is that Kong is currently in charge of. Also, I forgot to say, watch Kong Skull Island. Which was very good show. And then also we have Godzilla Singular Point Season 2, Part 2 or whatever coming out. So very excited for all these kaiju movies showing up. Hopefully that'll spur a Pacific Rim remake or whatever you want to call it, because they were supposed to mix the Godzilla and Pacific Rim together. But I'm all in favor of more kaiju movies that don't look like crap. So these all look good so far. The the Japanese Godzilla looks way better than Shin Godzilla did with his stupid little arms and laser from his tail, which is stupid. Very good looking right now. I wonder what the plot is going to be because he doesn't look like he's fighting anybody. So I guess he's just a big bad guy in that version. But yeah, the TV show on Apple, I think it's going to be, at least at one point or something. The trailer looks okay for that. So excited about that. And then, of course, Godzilla vs. Kong 2. However, that's going to be looking to be very good. So that's it for that. And then, of course, I said we were done with anime, but we got to talk about my favorite one. Surprise, surprise. And it is One Piece. Still going strong. We finally had an end cap to the Wano saga. It is officially over for the main part, but they just got to leave now. So, of course, we got to take some more time. What's going on? Luffy is officially a warlord now, officially, unofficially, yada, yada, yada. Sabo is still alive, but he is like a huge figure, bigger than Dragon now, so that's interesting as the rebellion. So the brothers are kicking it up a notch. That'd be sick to see them showing up and like taking stuff over. Shanks is back in the picture, but he still has not met Luffy, so kind of ridiculous. But Wano is in good hands with Momo having aged himself up, which makes whatever sense. He can't go. He just skipped out on those years that, yeah, okay, whatever. There's an experience thing there that he just kind of skipped, but then he's the shogun of Wano, and then yada, yada, yada. We come to, this last episode, I'm not going to say it, but there's some specific plot things that we would, of course, been holding out on for like 20-something years of the show, and come to find out, Wano's got him. So, yeah, it's good. Let's just say Robin is very happy with what's going on. That's your little hint there. Oh, so good. One Piece is going to be amazing. And Shanks officially said he's going after One Piece, so I'm just going to tell you that spoiler because that kind of brings it closer to the fact that the show is coming to an end, maybe in the next 10 years or so. But yeah, Shanks said it, and if anybody can do it, it would be Shanks, because Luffy's not going to beat his ass because it's Shanks, and I don't know who else could take on Shanks if Luffy beat Kaido. Kaido's supposed to be the strongest guy in like pure power, so he beat him. So yeah, I did think it was interesting that they called his new form, like they said, like Kaido's like, oh, that's Joy Boy, but he never said like he awakened. So Law and Kid said they awakened their power. Luffy did not say it. He just kind of woke up with white hair. I didn't like that fact, so I wish they would have said, hey, he awakened specifically. So it's still kind of up in the air whether he can do it again or, if that was a fluke. Obviously, it's not going to be a fluke because he's going to do it again. But will he do it voluntarily or involuntarily is my question the next time. And who is he going to fight next time? Like, I guess the Grand Admiral, because nobody likes him, stupid magma face. Don't like that guy with your stupid cigar sticking out. I hope you choke on it, you jerk. So, yeah, we saw him, the Admiral complaining that he's in a very tough time, but he's going to take it all. I hope he takes a fist in the mouth, big old gum, mammoth, gigantic fist into the mouth. Can't wait till that fight starts. So let's see what happens. It's probably going to take us a few months to get into the next storyline. The Wano arc was amazing. Visuals were great. We had some music interludes in there for some reason. We come to find out that the grandpa is alive still. So will he tell his grandson that he's alive? And of course, he's showing secrets to Rob. He's the one showing the secrets to Robin, and then Law shows up. Feels like Law is going to be a stable character in the whole time. Got Yamato hopefully joining the crew because she's pretty cool, or he's pretty cool. So that would be good. You just got Kaido's son there the whole time, and then completely acting like a guy and just doing all the guy stuff. So yeah, Sanji loved that. That was great. So good. Why are you not watching One Piece? Oh my God. I just found some new One Piece fans and they're like, oh, I'm on episode 776. I'm like, oh my God, you went in there and watched. Oh, bless your little heart. I will do that at some point when the show is over. Oh, I can't wait. I don't know if I'll do it in dubbed. Hopefully it'll be all dubbed by then because they're only on like maybe Impel Down as far as dubbing. I don't think they've dubbed the whole series. Or no, maybe Crunchyroll did. Whatever. I don't know. It's not on Netflix. That's all I know. So I don't know if anybody knows about it. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and rewatch all of it. once it's all done. So that'll be a great undertaking. Some people have heard like done it recently. It took them like 6 months, 8 months or something like that. I was like, wow, that's a commitment. I feel like it'd take me a couple years, but that's about it for now. So that was Geeking Out Part 3. Finishing up here, this is El Comedone, aka the Cuddle Jiggle, or if you want to call me Julius, that's fine too. But this is the Pillow Fort Sessions in continuity with the Around the Kinky Campfire podcast. Please rate us on whatever platform you're on, and then come see us on the Kinky Campsters IG. Let me know what you think. And then we do our main episodes every second and fourth Thursdays of the month. Pillow Forts will be probably first and or third at some point. I'll just throw those in there when I feel like yammering on and talking about the yada yada yadas. But I hope you enjoy the Geeking Out, and then hopefully next time I will get into something more serious. It won't take me a few months before that happens. This is my soapbox, so I like to try to have a cohesive thought, but I feel like there's just going to be a bunch of rambling, so I'm trying to get my cohesive thoughts together. I have notes, so hopefully it comes into something. If you guys like it, let me know. I can see from the downloads and likes and all that. But for now, this is your boy, El Comedone, General McBee, call me General McBee, Colonel McBee, the Cuddle Gigolo, Julius. Hello.